All right, what's going on, guys? I'm Degidio, and we are back with another episode of the Jaxxon podcast. I'm sitting here with the greatest host of all time, Twitch, motocross legend,
Why are you
freestyle
laughing?
legend. That's crazy to start off the podcast and I say the greatest host of all time, and you just break out in a laugh. I can't even introduce you yet because now I got to wait for you to stop laughing.
You know how every friend has a friend that's an asshole?
Yeah.
This is it right here.
Yeah, and normally you're the one that everybody says that about you.
No, she gives me more shit than I give anybody else, like straight up.
We didn't even get to introduce you yet, and you're already clowning this guy.
That is my intro right there.
I'll let you do the intro now.
Well, we have Miss Supercross over here. Three times? 3 times? Is it 3 times?
Correct yourself, motherfucker.
3-time Miss Supercross.
5 times.
5 times. Oh my God.
I don't
Where
know.
have I been?
Is it 5 times? I think it's 5 times, right?
Ryan's like, you tell me.
Wayne, fact check.
I'm
3 or
starting.
5.
I'm starting to forget.
After a 3-peat, we'll give it to you. My notes say 5-time Supercross.
Thank you.
5. Okay, I was wrong.
Come
Which is
on.
crazy because every other girl was only 1 year, right? Why did you get 5 years?
Probably because I wasn't a racer chaser. I don't know. You know.
Wow.
You kept it professional.
I did, right?
Yeah, you
and
did.
I had people talking shit. Am I allowed to curse? I'm so sorry.
You could say whatever you want at this point.
Okay, great. Well, yeah, I had people talking shit why isn't Dianna out here partying? Why isn't Dianna hooking up with her riders? Why isn't Dianna? I'm like, dude, I'm just here to do my job
This is a
and
job.
work.
She hustles, dude. She's
Damn.
always doing something. This is something I really respect about you and Ryan. You are literally always hustling. You got your own brand. You guys have his stuff you're doing. You guys are always doing something. And I respect it. I think it's cool as hell to see.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it.
You're in this, I don't even know what I would call your industry. Your industry is everything that you do and that you're a part of. It's you're doing Polaris stuff. You're doing Harley stuff. You're doing motorcycle stuff. You're doing monster things. You're doing fitness stuff. You do everything. So
I know.
It's cool.
I know. It's really cool. It's been an amazing career. And now I'm a wife and a mom. I've been a wife the whole time, but mom of 2 little kids. And so it's dope to be able to become a mom, go back to my career, be still killing it, doing all my TV shit, everything that you said. And then now here I have a little girl and she's 2 years old. And so it's really awesome to be able to do it all because a lot of people, they start having kids or they get married and then they just vanish.
They think it's over with. Oh, we're done. Can't do anything no more. It's you still kept doing everything you were doing.
Yeah.
But I feel like you're doing it better now.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a total blast. And I'm just really grateful. And like I said, like you said, I work really hard. I hustle. I'm always in the mix. And so, yeah, it's been great.
She can ride a motorcycle too, really good. I remember, I think it was Doonies or something. I knew you always rode, but you jumped on someone's 450 and she rode from the flats all the way to Gecko Road.
Through the dunes.
Through the dunes. And riding the dunes is gnarly.
But I was in a bikini.
Yeah, in a bikini.
Wow.
Yeah,
is that one of the roles as Miss Supercross?
No, okay. So I was Miss Supercross, but they rolled me into television. So I was actually a sideline reporter for action sports, just in general. You okay over there?
Yeah, there was
You all right?
a fly flying around me. It was in my nose.
Normally, if the camera's on you, let him do his thing. But calling him out, calling him out while he's doing kung fu, that's crazy.
But yeah, it just rolled into I really got put into a lot of different things, but I was always the first girl that was I'll do that. Hey, can I do that too? I wasn't just sitting there being I'm a monster girl, give me my can. And I think that's why I got so much success in the industry was because I always was the first one that was I'll say it or I'll do it or hey, can I hop on that dirt bike?
I'll start it. I'll ride it.
Yes, I was always like that. So it was just boring standing there being in a cute little outfit, smiling. It was more fun for me to get involved and be a part of the crew rather than just sitting there and waiting for them to come get me and be smile here. This is what you're going to do. Shake your ass. So
you're more of a personality.
Yes.
People, I feel people they flock to you. Cause you're just you're talkative. You're you're what would I say? Anyone can walk up to you and have a conversation with you. You're just oh, fuck
yeah.
You
Friendly to the people,
This is
even
why-
just from the environment right in front of the podcast.
Yeah.
Friendly. And it's cool too to have someone who represents the sport that can bring different energy. That's why every sport has different verses of it, right?
Yeah.
They have hosts, they have different people who do sideline reporting, they have Miss Supercross. What is the job of Miss Supercross?
So the job of Miss Supercross is to represent the brand of Supercross, right? Not Monster Energy, not any of the other sponsors. It's just Supercross, right? And it was to be around the fans, warm welcome, energy, positive energy, excited about the races. It just brought a different aspect and it brought the female, scenario into
they
the
wanted
mix,
more
right?
of that fan coming in.
Exactly. So it's you can meet riders and get signings, and that's all awesome. But it's kind of like you're the mascot of Supercross.
What do all the wives and girlfriends go there for? Like when they don't care about dirt bikes.
Well, that's what you think, but a lot of the riders' wives hated, the Monster Girls and, Miss Supercross. But
really, I would never have imagined,
dude, because they think that you're going to try to take their man.
I remember hearing when Monster did the deal with like NASCAR, like the NASCAR wives were furious. Like these bitches ain't coming here and stealing our men. You know what I mean? Like it turned into like a gnarly ordeal. Like,
I mean, I would never imagine a wife being upset that like 20 hot girls in Monster outfits are going to be around their dude. Like I couldn't see that causing any issues at all.
Right? Not at all. So, that's what you do. You represent Supercross, and you're on 24/7. As soon as there was a Miss Supercross before me. I had heard when she was traveling on airplanes or she got stopped at home. Oh yeah, you're Miss Supercross. Can I get a picture with you? She'd be like, no, I'm not working right now. I do that at the races only. And I remember hearing that and being like, dude, this is who you are. This is a title that you get. That's you 24/7. You don't stop, You're
not on the clock for that.
Yeah. And I think that that's another thing that set me apart as well, is because I was always on. I was like, this is just who I am, and I grew up in Temecula. So everyone also recognized me. And so, I just loved it. It was awesome. For those 5 years, I was a Monster Girl for Supercross 2 years before I became Miss Supercross. And so 7 years of just like back-to-back races and all the events and everything. It was an incredible time in my life, like from 18 to 24.
I feel like too, like what separated you from everyone else when you were Miss Supercross is like you actually knew what you were talking about. Like when you were on TV and talking about the riders, it's like you knew that rider, you knew what was going on over here. You knew the scoop on everyone. Mm-hmm. And I feel like any of the other girls that ever did it couldn't even come close to you because they were just like, they had no knowledge of like moto.
Yes, that's the thing is when you grow up in Temecula, if you're into moto, like luckily my brother raced and I was out at the track when I was a little girl, and you just know what that vibe is like and how the families work. And it's like, these dudes just didn't get here out of nowhere. It takes they've started when they're 3-4 years old with their dads. Their dads have pushed them through all these years. And so I understood, I'll never forget, there was dads there on the sideline. Their 20-year-old sons are racing and they're becoming Supercross light champions. And then you have this little girl coming up and then they're like, do not get involved with this chick. And you've seen a lot of riders fall off because they get all screwed up on this jersey chaser that comes in, and it's like, the dreams just crumble and fail right there.
Yeah, Dad's furious.
What does the term jersey chaser mean?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What's it also called? Like a pit rat or
Proho?
Proho. Yeah. The girls.
Where did these terms come from?
The girls who intentionally show up to get themselves some of that meat.
A sponsorship.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes.
It's gnarly out there, dude.
It is.
So this is a thing that guys have to look out for as riders.
I mean, but
it's a good thing that the parents are making their kids look out for because they're not trying to lose their shit.
I mean, I'm sure especially in your era, right? Your era was the height of the freestyle moto community. Mm-hmm. And those girls had to have been on those girls were all your wives. You're gnarly.
I feel like it's still like that. I feel like moto has always been like that, though.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
What happened? You're a frog hog. Apparently, I'm a frog hog because frog hogs date Navy SEALs. But you have to do 3 to get a frog hog. I've never done 3. I didn't even know what a Navy SEAL was. I didn't even know what a Navy SEAL was. So
Ryan's like, I ain't letting you do 3. All right. So
can we get a clear definition of what frog hog?
Frog hog. You do 3 Navy SEALs. You use a frog hog, girl.
You guys got a song for that?
Can we just tell the cameras who's giving us good chimes from the background?
Oh, this is Ryan, Mr. Navy SEAL himself.
This is Ryan Bates.
Ryan, come over here. Come over here. Just introduce yourself. At this point, you've given us some of the best content we've been in 5 minutes already.
I'm Ryan Bates. I married this wife, and she's badass, and she is a frog hog.
Oh my
frog
God.
hog for one frog.
Yeah, only because she's done you more than 3 times.
Yeah. Incredible. Thank you for the commentary. Actually make this podcast 100% better having you here.
Yeah, Ryan is a badass and he will mess you up. So just keep your comments nice.
Yeah. Where's the red dots at? Yeah. Red dots are on the chest somewhere.
Yes.
How did you guys meet?
We met at Supercross.
Wow. Really? Were you in the moto or did you see her on TV and you're like, I'm going to go get this chick?
I was a pit racer or pit chick. No, he actually owned the security company that got contracted out for Monster to do all their like high-end
Yeah, that's right. I remember seeing you guys.
So
Yeah,
he
yeah,
would
yeah.
do like, like McGrath or like the NASCAR drivers would come in or whatever, his guys, because he would hire MMA because he's heavily involved in MMA, or at the time
Was that dude one of your workers that was working at Monster and ended up like beating up some?
Come on. Why does this story always
that-
War
Yeah.
Wait,
Machine.
hold on.
Because I remember hearing
we
the
won't hear
story.
him, so you got to tell us the whole story.
Now I just put 2 and 2 together. I don't remember who it was, but some MMA dude
War
like
Machine.
War Machine went crazy. Remember that?
War
Remember him?
Machine.
Yeah.
He's the one who didn't he
Went to prison.
allegedly beat up his wife?
Not allegedly, he did.
Oh, he did.
Oh, real bad.
Yeah. it
Okay,
was
so
a
War
gnarly
Machine was an
ordeal.
MMA
He's in
fighter.
prison.
Oh, he is.
Oh, yes. He's already been in there for what, babe? 9 years or something like that?
And what ended up happening?
But I always remember seeing him at Supercross doing security, and he was always cool as hell. And that's like when I
Yes.
heard it, I was like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "Him?" I'm like, "No way!" Like,
Yes. So what happened with that? So he was one of Ryan's security guys, right? Because Ryan would hire SEALs or MMA fighters on the weekends to do the security, right? For all like McGrath
Good
or
call.
Carmichael.
anyone
or
else
all
coming in, yeah, high
anyone
profile.
coming in. Yeah. So
Why not hire the best?
Then we're at, it's actually our 1-year anniversary at this point. We're at the Club Vanity at Hard Rock at the time. We're in the table area. We're partying. Everything's great. All of a sudden, party stops. War Machine has picked up this guy and launched him off because, the table's sat up on like a ledge a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
And so he launches him off into the dance floor and the dude's out cold, like done, like toast. 911 gets called. The whole party gets cleared out. We're at the Monster Energy Supercross after
party.
party. Okay. And we're like,
Where you're working,
we're stressed, right? Like we're like,
Ryan's like, "Oh fuck."
oh my God,
goes my
what
company.
the hell is happening? Yes. So that's exactly what happened. And come to find out, it was because he was he was an Australian kid, super wasted, was hitting on all the Monster girls at the table and they didn't want him there. And so one of the ladies was like, "Hey, can you please get him out of here?" Knowing that he works security at the events. And so he couldn't go left. He couldn't go right.
He's
What'd
like,
he
"I
do?
got him."
Up and over the ledge and
So
down
he
on the
did the
dance
little
floor.
toss over
Just a little shoot.
toss over the crowd.
Yeah.
I can't get this way or that way. Watch this. Fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, see ya.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So that
Those
was
are the security guards I want at my parties.
So at
I
that
know,
point,
right?
you still hiring, right?
yeah. So at that point, he was with you guys, and then this guy was working security, and then he got in trouble later on.
Yeah, so they lost the contract shortly after that. They did a couple more events. They
Son
got,
of a bitch.
No.
Yes.
Wait. So after this happens, you lose the Monster contract.
Yes, he does. His
You were
company.
protecting the freedom of these people. You were making
Yeah.
sure they were good, and then they canceled that.
Well, they weren't on the clock either. It's not like they were on the clock.
Incredible overtime ethic.
Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately, that's what happened. But yeah, a couple months later, he ends up beating up his famous
Girlfriend
porn
or-
star girlfriend at the time, and then he gets sentenced like 30 years to life.
So gnarly. I remember seeing all that on the news, and I'm like, I used to see this guy at Supercross every weekend. Like,
Yeah, yes.
that was gnarly.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
And this all came from your security company. Incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
crazy, right?
And it's incredible how you're able to just bring the best podcast to life. This is like you're like going 10 for 10 right now.
And
You have
all
not
I'm doing
missed.
is just hitting up all my friends.
Yes, we just have gnarly stories. Like,
Yeah.
what
Just want to
would
make
you
this
say?
super clear that Twitch is 10 for 10 on podcast guests. I'm still trying to figure out, like you were saying, that she understood racing because there is so many people in basketball and football and baseball. They try to hire all these girls like the Barstool Sports feel like, oh, let's get like a
Yes.
super cool chick to sit there and talk about the sport. I would love to talk about that more. Like, how is it that you were able to kind of transcend that from just being a chick to being able to talk so highly and be able to commentate at like a good level?
So it really just fell into my lap. I didn't know I could do it. And I was really shy actually to be on camera. I was
you?
just more of a talker, right? But every time they'd come up to us girls, right? Because you know, if you watch Monster Energy events, there's typically 4 to 6 girls standing there taking photos with all the fans. They don't really talk though. So they would come up and say something for the camera, girls. And so I'd be like,
Just be
"All right.
yourself."
Hi guys, we're here in Anaheim. We're at Monster Energy Supercross round number 2, you know? And so I think that just caught on. And so then they asked me to be Miss Supercross. They were like, "We're looking for someone to talk on camera." I said, "I don't really have experience doing it, but I'm willing to learn and try." And I do know the industry. I know
Yeah.
the
You
feel.
grew up
I know the
around
vibe.
it.
I grew
Yeah.
up around it, you know? So when you're hanging out with all the moto kids, you know, my brother's best friend was Kyle Kraus.
Yeah.
So you know who that is, you know, and all their best friends, you know, and they're bringing up young riders who are moving out here from Idaho and Missouri and
So
all
you
the random
already
states.
knew most of these dudes before they ever in racing Supercross.
Yeah.
You've seen them growing up at the local track and like all that.
Yes,
So like
yes.
you kind of have a scoop, you know?
I know. I kind of like just know the energy and what's happening. I know how everyone talks. I grew up in Canyon Lake. Canyon
Yeah.
Lake's a lot at that that time was like all the moto boys.
That's
were
where everyone
wanting
wanted to buy a house and
Yes.
to live in there in the lake.
I remember being like 6 years old on the lake in East Bay, and it was Jeremy McGrath's like prime time, right?
Yep.
And at his lake, he had a house on the East Bay of Canyon Lake that had these stairs that went into the water, but it was like a grand staircase. And I just remember seeing everyone party and like
Yep.
fucking like Havasu Copper Canyon, like
That's what it looked like in his
1998.
backyard all the
and
time.
I just remember being like, what I would give to be 18 right now. Like I remember being like a little girl thinking like, I just want to be at that party.
It looks so fun.
Oh my God. And my brother's like jumping off there because my brother's 10 years older than
Yeah.
me. So they're jumping off. All of his homies are jumping off. They're all going over there. They're hanging out. I'm like, God damn it.
That looks fun.
Yes. So that's how I know. And then luckily I just knew how to speak on camera, and I tightened it up over and over and just had lots of practice. And they put me on Fox Sports every weekend. And
Pretty rad.
that's how it started. And then then I started getting phone calls for other things. I got a phone call for NASCAR. I got a phone call. Funny thing is I actually got a phone call from the network to go directly to the network for football and baseball and like the highlight shows, where they have the pretty girls. I bombed it. I was
you
like,
really?
I studied for 5 days, like all the players that they gave me, all the disciplines they gave me. And I went on there and I did and I just bombed it. I don't know anything about football. I don't know anything about baseball. It's just not
hard,
my jam.
right? Yeah.
Like team sports are not my thing, but like motor and wheels, like let's hit it,
Yeah.
So,
That's dope.
It's an interesting dynamic though with the Monster thing, because Monster is so synonymous with like action sports. Like, you're a Monster athlete, right?
Yeah, I've been there 12 years now, probably.
Yeah.
Like, I've been there for a while.
And then I've seen guys like my other friend, like Sheckler, for example, has been with Red Bull forever.
Yes.
And like
Yeah.
these guys, like these brands get just so intertwined with a sport. Like when I think Monster, I think Supercross.
Yes.
And it's so crazy. I think Supercross, I think Monster Girl.
Yes.
Like it's
Yes.
kind of a weird thing. Like
It goes hand in hand.
They've owned it.
So
Like-
that's their first, that was their first real big title sport as well. Like when they came out on the ranks and they were making a name for themselves, and they were at Hanson still. They were owned by Hanson's.
Yeah.
That was their first big sport, Monster Energy Supercross.
It's insane though. When they were with Hanson, just funny story about that. We have a paintball park, SC Village in Hollywood Sports, and me and my family, and they came to us. I was like 12 and I had a paintball team.
Yeah.
And they were like, hey, we're going to sponsor you guys. We're going to give you like $5,000 a month. And you guys just come to our events. And they were sponsoring some Long Beach hockey team at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I forgot what it was. And they were like, you just come to these events and you just hand out drinks. And I was like, I was short little meatballs, like 5'2". Right now I'm 5'5", so I didn't grow that much. And they were just like handing out money to everybody. There was like some like pole vaulter. There was like it was random as sports.
Yes,
And then I believe like the marketing guy probably got fired. And then they were like,
Was
"All
that
right,
Scott Kovic?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. It was some guy. And then Hanson's like did the collaboration thing and
Yeah.
they got moved on. And it was pretty insane to watch them go from like a drink that you thought was never going to make it. You're like, what is this black can with this like
with the
green
claw.
Yeah.
I feel like
skyrocketed.
that was all Mark Hall. Mark Hall's he was at Hanson's originally. He was like our team manager like, when we rode for Hanson's, and then he was the one that like had the idea and started Monster. And I feel like even to this day, whenever I see Mark Hall, I won't see him for years, and I'll see him. He's like, "Is our brand still cool?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "You let me know if our brand ever is not cool." Like that's like the one thing he cares about. So it's like,
Yeah.
I feel like everything that he's a part of, like he has some wacky ideas, but they're really good ideas.
Yes.
Just
No,
different.
kind of wacky here.
No way.
What is that? Oh, this is
Little-
the paintball.
Look at little meatball on the bottom
Oh
right there.
my God, you are so
Can you zoom in on that?
freaking
What's
No.
going on?
Hey, wait, prop all this.
Wayne, get in there on that,
Wait,
dude.
prop all this.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Like you're like even like
Yeah, it was like it was LA Times. And
He's
they had,
earning that money. He's like,
I was like, dude, this is insane. You know
that was
what?
still when paper goods were still good.
Yeah, I was
You're
like-
in the LA Times, bro. You made
Dude,
it.
you know how it is like as an athlete. Obviously,
Yeah.
I've never been at the
when you
level
first
you
get
are.
in sponsorships,
When you
and
get
stuff, like,
money
it's cool.
and you're doing
Yes.
something you love, you're like, this is insane.
Yes.
Kids get excited for a free t-shirt. Imagine you're like 13 and you get like money.
Yeah.
I'm like, Pops, I want to go buy candy. I want to go buy Subway. I want to go buy this. He's like, Subway, candy. He's like, off the yard, kid. Like,
Yes.
I'll handle it from here.
Yes,
You know?
absolutely. And Monster Energy is so cool because what sets them apart too is they don't have this like watered down like clothing brand. I'm in, you're in garments. I'm in garments.
Yep.
And so for me, I'm like, if I could just get that license, if I could just
I think
get
the same
that
thing all the
license,
time,
I'm like,
like-
please, I can manufacture all your stuff, right?
That's a rad brand of like they make so much cool stuff, but you can't buy it.
No.
Like I'll go places, people are like, I'll give you $100 for your hat. I'm like, nah, dude, I'm good. And I'll give you $200. I'll give you $400. I remember I've seen people sell their hats off their head
Yeah.
before.
Yes.
Like I won't say any names, but I've seen people be like, fuck it, I got 20 more. I'll take it. You know
I need an audit of all Monster athletes right now and how many hats they get a year. Wait, how is it that Monster athletes are like girls get? I never even asked you that. How do you guys get your clothes or your merch?
They just send us boxes or they got sizes and stuff like that.
They don't
Yeah,
have a store?
so they do have like a merchandiser that works in house that they like put all their branding on their stuff, like with the brands they want. Like if it's Fox, they do like a co-licensing deal or whatever.
Yeah.
But like Monster Girls, they just go like Kelly will go and find the cute outfit she likes and then just goes and sticks the brand on there.
Kelly, John Luch's wife? Johnny Luch's wife?
Yeah, loud.
Yeah, Luch.
Johnny Luch.
Lucci.
Johnny
Luchin.
I met him like a few years ago. I thought he was like an Olympic certified trainer who was going to take me to the moon. And then I found out he pawned me to Joe Cancelleri because the guy didn't train me. He goes, come down from LA. Hey, Johnny, sorry, I love you. Thank you. I just had surgery. Someone connected me with him. They're like, yeah, this world famous like guy owns the W. Was it the W?
Yeah,
Guy
it was,
owns
yeah.
this
It was
training
the W.
facility.
Yep.
He's going to take you. He's going to make you an athlete. I was like, so incredible. I met this guy. I'm like, this Australian surfer, Baywatch looking wannabe guy? No. And then Joe Cancelleri comes out of nowhere. And he's all like clean cut. Joe looks like some doctor from Pepperdine. I'm like, oh, I'll work out with him. Johnny's like, that's who you're working out
Let me
with.
just correct you real quick. He's South African.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, he'd be
Yes.
so offended.
No, he's not.
He's South African.
South African.
Yes.
I thought he was from Australia.
No, he goes brew.
He just
Hi,
looks like
brew.
it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Poor guy. I didn't know that.
Poor
his,
guy.
His DJ, he has a daughter who's a DJ, Mads, good
Yes.
friend of mine. She
Yes.
kills it.
Yeah.
I love her. Funny story about Mads.
Yeah.
First, like one of my first events working for her mom, I walk up to their door because this is like when we were going to her house and picking up your outfit for the weekend. I knock on the front door. This little 12-year-old Maddie walks, just opens the door. Hi. I'm like, hi, I'm Dianna. You know, I'm like 18 or 19. She goes, oh my God, you are so pretty. You are beautiful. And I was like, I fucking love you. God, I just need you to live with me, like in my back
Just hype
pocket.
me up every
Yes,
day.
you're my hype chick, and I'll never forget that. She always says that every time I see her. She's like, "Remember when I met you the first time?" I'm like, yes.
Yeah, because Kelly, you guys used to not have a lady that would go to all the races before. It was just you guys, right?
Yeah, we were on a budget, dude. We were
Yeah.
budget-friendly Monster Girls. There was 4 of us. They went to every single race. It was very like you knew who we were.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Is all these girls ask nowadays, "How do I become a Monster Girl? How do I become a Monster Girl? Or how do I get to what you got to do?" And I'm like, it was such a different time. 10 years ago, there wasn't social media. There wasn't like all these things that made girls like with this bigger persona. So like you really had to work and earn it just by like being yourself. or,
Yeah,
like,
being around, being present. Like
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
an internet thing.
exactly.
Seems like an insane culture though. Like the moto scene seemed like such a different culture. Like you guys are talking about it like everybody knew each other. Everybody was kind of
Yeah.
one big family, from the riders to the athletes to the girls to the sponsors. I feel like it's not like that now. Everybody lives
I
everywhere. It's
feel
kind
like
of divided.
Since then, it's gotten so much bigger. It's hard to like remember everyone's name or like to meet everyone. Like you know.
Well, kind of like started with Carmichael, right? He was out in Florida.
Yep.
And a lot of the guys were in California. Well, the problem is just let's just be real. California has kind of like been ran so poorly that these kids and these factories and these businesses, they can't like
Everyone's leaving.
Everyone's leaving because they're like,
They
oh,
can't
well,
have
I'm
their-
not from here. I'm from fucking Kentucky. And now here I'm in California living in Corona, paying $4,000 a month on my rent. And then I'm paying the state a bunch. Like I'd rather just go back home to Kentucky or go to Florida and not pay anything.
Yeah, and they all have their own, like all these teams now are building their own facilities. They're on like a bunch of
Yeah.
land. They're buying Carmichael's old farm. Like they have shops, track, training, like everything in one place now.
Dude, they're selling their like 5-acre parcel out in Corona now that they bought for probably $50,000 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they're selling it for like $2 million. And we're out of here. Like
Yeah.
we're going to
Everyone's getting more bang for
I
their
know.
buck back
Yeah.
east.
I got my paintball park in Chino, SC Village Paintball Nursery.
Oh, that thing probably
yeah.
could go for
like 100
ridiculous.
acres, and it's insane. And it's been there for 40 years, celebrating our 40th anniversary. Wait, can you break down how the factory teams work now? They buy their own land and build training facilities?
That's
Yeah.
what Star started. Star was probably like one of the first ones that
Yeah,
really
they were.
started like, hey, they told everyone on the team, like, we're moving back east. We bought Carmichael's farm. Everyone's going to live out here. Like, you guys have jobs if you want to go. Like, yeah, I think they gave them all like an allotment to like help them move and get out of town and get out there. And now they have Carmichael's old farm. They have their race shop. They have their gym. They have all their stuff they need in one location.
Yeah. And they were in Lake Elsinore, like in a suite or like suites before, right? Like a little area in Lake Elsinore.
Yeah, I don't even remember where they were,
Yeah.
but like, and since they've done that, their team has became like one of the biggest powerhouses in the industry.
Yeah.
So that's like the move. The move is to kind of like centralize your team, your shop, your mechanics, your everybody.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Pull it together, have everyone there living and breathing the team atmosphere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
What about Monster as a brand? That's actually something that I think people don't realize. Like they do like 50 billion a year, 40 billion a
they're
year.
huge.
They got to
Like
be one of
they're-
the biggest brands on the planet
Oh,
in
they had
drink space.
Coca-Cola come in and do distribution for them. It multiplied the company.
Yeah, they're
like,
in
massively.
they're in everything that you can think of. Monster, you
Yeah.
see a logo there.
So do they own Supercross?
No,
No, they
they're
just
the
sponsor
title
it. Just
the title sponsor.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're the title sponsor.
But obviously, it's got to be like a 10-year deal, right?
I think
Oh,
it's only a
it's-
few years at a time.
Yeah.
Because you gotta think like someone is gonna want to come in and outbid them. So it's like the people that run Feld are like, yeah, let's just do a short term deal because if we can bid this and get more money, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because like Amazon, I'm assuming would come in, or Netflix would come in and say, yo, we'll partner, just how they're doing with all the sports, like Monday Night Football and
Yeah.
stuff.
I've been
Yes.
hearing rumors of Netflix coming into Supercross soon, like with like the Drive to Survive, like all like the
That would
F1 race and
Well,
like the golf one, like full
It
swing.
would be killer if they did that because
It would be rad.
it would be awesome because it brings back action sports. You know, we took a little bit of a dive for a
Yeah,
while, like
for sure.
that 08 recession. And
It's
so-
having events and stuff like
yeah,
that. Like,
exactly. So if they did, that would be awesome for the sport because it brings people back to what's two wheel all about, and then it gets back onto a rise.
I think it would actually showcase Supercross in like the best form possible because when Netflix does anything, they don't half-ass it, and it's like I feel like Supercross and motocross with those dudes being athletes is so overrated. It's like people think like all these football guys are so gnarly. It's like no, go follow a motocross athlete, watch what they do for their daily training and how many broken bones and injuries they're going throughout the year and riding and not sitting out 7 games. You know what I mean? Like they're riding hurt 90% of the time. Like these
Right.
dudes are like in and out of surgery. Like I think if anything, it's going to make the sport way better than it is.
Absolutely.
I think it needs it.
Yeah, it does. You have these powerhouses come in every once in a while, you know, once a decade, and revives it and brings it new life into it, and gets new consumers, new customers, new fans of the sport.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be absolutely incredible if Netflix got on board or some powerhouse like that, Amazon Video. That'd be dope.
It'd be
Where
really
you at,
good.
Feld? Come on, Prater. Prater, you make magic happen. Come on, buddy. Get it on Netflix.
It would be a good one.
That would be
Yeah,
awesome.
we see a lot of craziness right now with streaming. And I think one thing too that people don't talk about, action sports kind of took a dive hugely when clips became so easy, so digestible, so fast that it ruins a lot of the hype of X Games. It ruins a lot of the excitement of action sports was watching that live.
Yes,
and then
yes.
seeing it on TV because you couldn't see it. And then you have social media comes in and bombards you with 1 bazillion hours of footage every day.
Yes.
There's over like 3 million reels posted every hour or something crazy like that.
wow.
No
between
way.
all the
Insane.
between all the platforms. And we were doing some analytics. Actually, Wayne, our producer who doesn't like to talk, we were doing some analytics like a few weeks ago on different sports, and like MMA was like #1 on YouTube. Number 3 was like skating / motocross / like action sports. They kind of like link all those
Yeah,
together.
blend it.
And number 2 was like cooking, and like basketball and football weren't even in the top 5 on like
gnarly.
highlights. But the reason why too is also those accounts get flagged that like repurpose MLB content and they don't own the licensing. So they stunt the growth of that. But like, it's so crazy how much content is consumed every day of action sports. It's literally a top 3 sport.
That's what's cool about Supercross is like, you can have clips, don't get me wrong, but it's a 20-lap race. It's a
Yeah.
15-lap race. You have to watch it in
Yeah.
order to see like the true action of the race. You can get maybe someone clean someone out. Maybe someone loved the fight still between Pike and
Freeze.
Freeze.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that will go down.
Fist
in
fighting on the
history.
track. Like
Oh my God.
it's funny they get in trouble for that, but then it's on every commercial.
No, because that's what
To sell
brings in
sell
viewers.
seats, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, that's a great point.
Yeah, they'll get fined. Like they'll get like
AMA
it's like
will
they get
screw 'em.
scolded from the principal and they get in trouble and they get fined. But then that clip plays over and over on every commercial. You know
Seems
what I
like
mean?
a double standard to me.
I feel like if
Twitch
you
might
get
be-
fined for that, you can send them an invoice every time it's on TV.
That's what I was
Twitch,
going
you
to say.
might be
Where's the royalty?
rewriting history right now.
Yes, seriously. Where's
Yeah.
the royalty at?
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Take that.
Give me
that's
10
incredible.
cents every time that clip plays on TV. The carnage, in the Supercross voice, the
Yeah.
Supercross God voice. The carnage. This weekend, Missouri, come out.
Going back on all your business stuff that you've been doing and stuff like that. Like, what made you get into business? Like, when were you like, I can do this? Like, because that had to have just happened, right?
I know. There is an exact moment. Someone wrote me on Facebook and said, "Can I get a signed photo?"
Really?
Yes.
Is that when you started doing the calendars and stuff?
Yeah. Well, I was only like 18 or 19, and I had just done my first like fitness competition, and so I was like in shape, and I did a photo shoot. I was all like ripped, and someone wrote me on Facebook and was like, "Hey, would I be able to get a signed photo?" And I'm like, I don't have free photos.
You
to send.
weirdo.
Yeah. So I'm like, I wrote him back just like, well, yeah, sure. It's going to cost you money. He's like, yeah, no problem. How much is it? And as soon as he said that, I was like, Ching.
Yeah.
Like, what?
You're
You're
what?
going to pay me for a photo? That's crazy. You know, because I'd only been around Supercross riders that they have like 1,000 of them and they're just signing, giving them out.
You're going to pay for this?
Yes. So I was like, so before I wrote him back, I went up to CVS. I was like, how much for this 8x10? And they're like, it's $3. I'm
You're
like,
all $50.
okay, and now I got to ship it. So I'm like, all right, how much? I went to the post office. I'm like, how much to ship this so it doesn't bend? And they're like, it's, $2 to ship it and it's $2 for the mailer. I'm like, okay, all right. And then I go back. I'm like, I'll do it for $15. And he goes, send, like,
cool.
PayPal, send. And I'm like, I called my dad. And so I posted it and I sold like 5 more on Facebook, right? Like,
how old were you at the time?
I was only like 19. And I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, some dudes just bought 5 signed 8x10s from me. I just made like $200 because they wanted a 3-pack. So they chose from 3 photos. So
No way.
So I made $200 real quick. And at 19 in 2009.
Like, I can make money?
Yes. I'm like, oh my God, I don't have to. I just worked all day for $350 at this event yesterday. And I just made it in like 30 minutes running up to CVS off of Clinton Parkway. Like, I'm fucking stoked. So that's really what made the switch, like just seeing that, like, wow, okay, it's a product. Like, I gotta. So anyway, someone gave me an idea. I can't remember who it was, but I was doing a photo shoot and they're like, you should do a calendar. I'm like, what? Who does that? Who does this? Well,
You killed it on the calendar, didn't you?
I did the calendar and Ryan was there. We were in Mammoth. We were there it was like 5 days before Christmas. It was 2013. We hop on the lift. I'm like, all right, I'm going to post this on my Instagram. I have like 50,000 Instagram followers. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to post this. I hope I can break even. It was like $2,500 for all the 500 calendars, right?
Yeah.
That chairlift was like a 7-minute long chairlift. I got to the top. I was sold out.
Shut the hell up.
And I was like, $30, they're all signed, and I'm like, Ryan, I sold out. She's like, order 500 more, order 500 more. I was like, fucking America's printer, 500 more. I need 500 more. And anyways, we were supposed to stay that whole week and like go snowboarding. And I was like, babe, we gotta get back.
We gotta go ship these.
We gotta go ship these. He was like, let's go. And so we get back. I didn't even know how to ship them. I'm like freaking out. I'm freaking out on him. Like, I don't know how to fucking do any of this.
How do I track all this? Who bought what? How many?
How do I do a shipping label? How do I print this out? We're like printing it out on printer. But it's like, that's so cool. It's like, that's the entrepreneurial spirit is like
you figuring
out those
first
things, like those printers.
They paid me all this money. Yeah. Now how do I get them the product?
I have 30 grand sitting in my account, fucking posters right now. Like, how do I do this?
Laughing.
And I did it and it was a hit and I couldn't believe it.
Incredible.
It was so cool.
It's so rad.
To be 23 and like you just have 30 grand in like 2 days. You're just like
what? And you literally from the time you got on Lyft, posted it and got up to the top, you're sold out, and you're like, whoa.
That feeling of making money is nuts. For the first time.
That rush.
I even told Ryan, I was like, I just pray to God that I can break even. Like,
all you wanted to do was looking for $2,500.
I was just looking for $2,500. That's it. And 15 grand PayPal account. I'm like, I was just like, oh my God.
It's that innocent feeling of
He's
like
babe, let's go take
business.
more photos.
Yes.
He's like, I just started a calendar company.
Ryan got himself a sugar mama.
Yeah. No,
Must
seriously.
have felt great, that ride down.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, that's so rad.
How old were you when you started DBK?
Oh, I only started DBK I think the first time I started it was like 2008 or 9 or something like that. And I only did it. I only did it for like a year because I was still competing and I was busy as hell. And then we brought it back 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So you started in 2008, took a break, then started again 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was the first thing you did when you launched it?
The second time?
No, the first time. T-shirt.
Oh, just a couple T-shirts. Yeah, just
made money.
Yeah, I made some money. It was cool. Like maybe did like $100,000 in like the first year, but that was like it was all in my garage. But I was competing. I was riding every single day, twice a day. I was training. Like I was on a pretty gnarly schedule then. And after the year, I was like, I don't have time to do this. Like I'm too busy. It was taking time from like my real job, like winning stuff. Like I couldn't concentrate. So we kind of just shelved it and waited. And then I remember I wasn't getting paid from one of my sponsors. And I was like, screw it. What do I have to lose? I'm just going to start my own company again.
Yes.
And we started it with the pre-order.
Yeah.
Didn't put any money into it.
Yeah.
Entrepreneur spirit. Dude.
Yes.
It's kind of
you
just
want something, you figure it out.
going off the cliff and not going back.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
And the funny thing is, like through the years, like him and I, we like touch base, like how's each other's coming? We're both in the garment space. So it's like, we're producing these pieces. Like, how's it going? Like, what's working for you? What's not? And it's been really cool to actually being able through the years to bounce ideas.
I've hit you up so many times, like just questions on stuff. Like, same.
And just being like, collaborative and helping each other out. Cause like the funny thing is a lot of people don't get this, but the garment space is not an easy space.
No, it's not. Josh Merrill told me from the very beginning, he's like, be careful, dude. Clothing ain't easy.
Yes, exactly. And so Josh Merrill's an amazing guy. He'll answer the phone like and
Anytime.
talk to you, and he'll tell you, educate you, anything you need. And it's just to have garments, especially I know for us women, dude, bikinis coming in, workout wear, this was sewn the wrong way. You know, this was the approved sample. This doesn't look like the sample. It's just such a gnarly experience going from the full process A to Z. And I'm not following a map.
No,
you know, I'm not.
We're making our own maps.
Yeah, you're paving your own path.
Seriously.
And you can come like 2 years ago, I had $154,000 stolen from me. Someone hacked into my Shopify.
That was one of my next questions.
Dude, oh my God.
That was gnarly.
So gnarly. Yeah, I'm having like anxiety.
I remember you
thinking about
freaking out about it. I remember Suze was like, oh my God, did you see what happened?
I was
like,
crying.
what?
And people were writing me going, sue Shopify, sue Shopify. I'm like, you guys, first off, they have like
They're like
bylaws.
this. They're huge. Like,
yeah.
What happened? So your Salty Honey got hacked?
So we had our swim launch 2 years ago, and you know, every year our swim launch becomes bigger and bigger. So we have this massive launch, okay, 100K that night. And I'm like, sweet. Okay, then the weekend goes through. So then you have all those funds collect, and it's supposed to hit Monday morning, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't hit Monday morning. So when I woke up and I just saw the payout, and I was like, okay, it was paid out. Maybe it'll hit tomorrow morning. Didn't hit. Tuesday, wake up, it didn't hit my account. I'm like, what the fuck? So I get on my desktop, click into the settings, and I'm like, that's not my account number. I'm like, what the? And so I call Shopify. I'm like in tears. I'm like,
oh, I
what
bet.
the
I could
fuck?
only imagine.
And they're like, no, it's Citibank. I'm like, I don't bank at Citibank. And they're like, you changed your settings on Friday night. And I'm like,
The day you launched. it
no,
got
I
changed.
didn't. Yes.
Oh my God.
And so I'm calling Taylor. I'm just freaking out overall, you know, and I just had my kids. So I'm like, kind of like, you know, like super emotional at this point. And yeah. And I didn't, you know, here I am, like, that's another business thing you learn. I didn't have business insurance at the time. You know, like I didn't have like cyber theft, cyber security.
Yeah.
I'm an e-commerce
Stuff
space.
you would never think about.
Yeah. Stuff that you just don't, I like I said, I don't have a checklist. I don't have a paved path that I'm already on, you know? So everyone, our one friend goes, well, claim your insurance, claim your house insurance. Cause I live on an acre and the business is operating off my property. You know, I got like 2,500 square foot in space that we're operating off of. And so I'm just like, you can't do it off of that either. They're like, sorry, we don't care that you're running a business off. We're here to cover your house.
Yeah.
You know, like the internet's not our problem. So it was a huge learning lesson. Shopify's not going to do anything. So yeah, bet your ass, e-com insurance, cyber insurance, liability insurance.
So what happened?
Yeah. Did you get it back or no?
That's it. That's the end of the story, guys. Poof.
No.
Poof.
Wait, you never got the money back?
No, I had the FBI involved. Luckily, like with my husband being who he
Navy
is.
SEAL didn't go hunt him down like Taken?
Yeah.
There was
There
red dots everywhere.
We know the director of the West Coast FBI. He got me straight to. Usually, you as anyone who doesn't have a contact, you make like a form, like an online piracy form, and then you make the complaint, you put in the police number, all that stuff. I had already done all that within minutes, so like I sent it straight to his guy, and he got me right into touch with someone, and they had done all the background drop, and they were like, "It's a Chinese account, like we can't."
They can't
do anything. If it was an American account, there'd be a difference.
So a hacker hacked your Shopify
email.
Oh, a hacker like a Gmail.
Yes.
Okay.
Like a Gmail that happened to be our admin, and like no one logs into the admin account. So we just had this email that had that was the email login for the admin account only. Mm-hmm. That's the only way you can change banking.
Wow.
And so they hacked in. They somehow found like maybe it had to have been an old invoice because, you know, when you do an invoicing back and forth, you know, like this is my wire instruction. So they were able to change our old one because that's grayed out, right? Yep. You have to enter in the correct account number.
Dang.
And then you enter in the new one. So then that's how they were able to do it. And I don't know how I couldn't tell you. I'm not a super techie person.
Yep.
But like that takes some serious effort because that was an old email from years ago when we first started the business. We didn't even have our @saltyhoney emails at the time. So it was just it was we're super grateful and blessed because that would usually tear someone down. We're self-funded. There was never been a money guy behind us. Yeah. You know, like we each took my partner and I $12,000 a piece, and we started this little, you know, activewear and bikini line, and then grew it to what it is today. So it's just like, dude,
it's like you make those mistakes, but I feel like that's how you learn and makes you a better business person. Because it's like you have to fail. Mm-hmm. To succeed.
Yes.
You
and
know
so many
I mean?
people would give up too. And I guess I have such a perseverance type spirit that I'm like, I don't like give up doesn't exist in my head.
I don't think you could act like a pussy when you have a SEAL team husband.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
I know.
I don't think he's gonna let that go down.
When the guy can kill you with his pinky, I think that would rub off a little bit. Wait, but I am still like
You're
concussed
bamboozled,
on
huh?
this.
Yeah, you're
so
bamboozled.
like they hack a Gmail, they log in, they kill it, they take all your money. Like, what do you do next? Do you go to your partner? Do you go to your husband, your team, say, hey, we got to get back on the horse? Did you say, how did you pay for the product? Like, this is a whole thing I need to know now. I need to know the details.
So everyone was like posting about us, right? So instead of like us, people were like, GoFundMe. Well, you guys, I'm so blessed. Like, I don't need a GoFundMe.
I love that mentality.
Figure it out.
I don't need,
Honestly, I love that.
Yeah, like go give your money to someone who's dying from cancer.
Someone that needs
like
it.
someone who
Like, I'll figure this
I wish
out.
the rest of the world had that mentality.
Yeah, so it's like everyone's like, start a GoFundMe. What we did was we immediately got on there and we were like, if you want to support us right now, like go buy something off the website.
Yep, I remember seeing these videos.
We just like got sold out like immediately. So what that did was it held us over, right? Like it got us by, luckily we're all self-funded. So it's not like I had loans out or credit or anything like that, but it got us our next PO, like that we could get some more inventory in and like, we basically started all over, like we had some reserve, but nothing like major.
That's crazy.
You got to think like that first drop, those 24 hours is such a crucial time for a drop. That's the busiest your website's going to be.
Friday, Saturday, like when you do a drop, that's when we see the most income on our site is as soon as you drop it. We're always 9 a.m.
Yep.
And then like Saturday's always really good. And then Sunday, like you get the tricklers, Monday it trickles in and you're like, okay, cool. We had a good weekend,
Yes.
But by Friday night how your weekend's going to look.
Oh,
You know within like an hour.
Yeah.
You're like,
okay,
all right, cool. Text went out,
this
emails
is a
went
good
out.
product.
Ads are hitting. All right, we did it. You know,
exactly.
Simple as that.
Yes. And
That's
so,
crazy.
I know.
How long ago was this?
This was 2 years ago.
And how long has the brand been going for?
We've had our brand for 8 years. Actually, like right about this time is 8 years ago.
And where's it at right now? Is it killing it?
Oh yeah, it's killing it. We do a couple million a year, which in the women's like activewear athleisure space, like in swimwear space, that's like, I don't know what other people's numbers are, but that's pretty good.
It's incredible.
Yeah. For
especially with an industry that's so oversaturated. There's a new
Yes.
brand every
and
week.
they do like techie shit. Like all their stuff's like cut and sew. Like
Yeah,
it
we're
ain't
cut
like
and
they're
sew.
buying someone else's stuff off Alibaba and then putting their name on it.
Exactly.
Like they're making their own shit.
Yeah, like we don't go to LA and hit the flea market and get like we're not like a retailer for wholesale pieces. Like
I
we're
love the
cutting our own
Alibaba
stuff.
comment.
Yes.
Well, dude, a lot of brands are like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For anybody
Like,
watching this doesn't understand what Twitch just said. Most brands go on Alibaba, which is an e-commerce website that you can buy everything every brand has and just slap your logo on it.
The funny thing is they just steal viral Instagram photos. And so then you're like, oh my God, I found the person that makes this. And then you order the sample and you're like, what the fuck
not even
is
close.
this shit?
Yeah.
Like they tried. It's
Well,
a failure.
Yeah, it's such an important aspect of business that no one explains to you is that when you find suppliers and partners that are really good and dependable, it's okay to pay a little extra premium and work with them, but have the dependability of having a manufacturer that's going to deliver on time and deliver what your sample and your cut and your silhouette is. So many people nowadays are so short-sighted. They just jump factory to factory and then they wonder why their product never looks good. Or, I'd rather pay more and make everything American made than go overseas and then wait 3 months. That 3 months of me not having inventory, I just paid a little premium locally, but I'm always in stock and I don't have to put out so much money.
You're really lucky to find a premium American manufacturer because I was American made until COVID. Because guess what happened to all my sewing? It went downhill.
Yeah,
Holes,
100%.
Holy, just poor quality. Like things were falling apart because all their master seamstresses went home for $600 a week.
Yeah.
And then they got
were
in
making
green.
more money doing that.
Yeah,
and then they
were-
stayed home.
They probably made $800 before, and then they were like, "Well, now I can stay home and get $600 a week. So why would I go to work for $800?"
Have you had any like really bad shipments show up and like when you're sending stuff out, like noticing like really bad products?
I've had, but we don't release them. Like if we find something where we are like perfect, that's a sample, and then we go to release it, or we shoot. You shoot everything beforehand.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes we can notice during the shoot, but like for my body, I can't represent 95% of the girls out. My partner is the same way. She's like petite and has big boobs. So it's like her body also can't. So then you get it into the girls who don't have our body types. And we're like, oh, that's like really failing for a majority of other body styles. So we'll pull it off and we'll try to go back to the drawing board and be like, it was so cute. It was a killer print. Like, how do we pull this back and like fix it so it can help or look great on everybody else? So that's what we typically do. But no, I did have this one group of coats, amazing, beautiful fur coats last year, right? And never had dealt with faux fur, and it's smells.
Really, when you opened it up out of the packaging?
bad. Yeah, polyfur. Yeah, it's
So never use polyfur.
Yeah, that's an interesting topic. I mean, in the e-commerce space, just for brands that maybe are watching this or people that are starting clothing brands, we pulled a lot of sample shoots and we were always like, all right, cool. We're ahead of seasons. We're ahead of schedule. Cause at Jaxxon, we don't sell clothing. We make it and it's kind of like the Red Bull Monster,
Right.
theory. We only give it to our athletes or we give it to the people that come here. We have a podcast, we have a fight team, we have a skate team, we have the moto guys. So it's like, if I have something on Twitch, I can like see how it looks on him and he can wear it out and that's easy. But if we were going to sell something, like we never shoot samples. So like we don't shoot like the 3-4 week pre-samples. We only shoot delivery. So like when delivery comes, we'll shoot samples for like in-house lookbooks or just so we know what's coming. But when things come, we'll open up and shoot actual e-com product in real time. So that way we do our QC, even for our chains, everything is still done by hand. All of the QC of our chains, our clasps, like you ask anybody about our class, we have the best class because we still do all the QC here. We designed our own class. Every chain brand just uses whatever, Italy gives them.
yes.
And Italy's like the best at it. So they just go, oh, okay, cool. Italy gave us this. We'll just use that. But we make everything by hand.
That's
So
incredible.
like it really helps that concept. So like that like most brands wouldn't care to be like, oh, it smells because they wouldn't even look at the delivery. They already shot samples. They're worried about the next drop.
So that's what happens a lot when you go to a 3PL. Like most people, like we've talked about this,
Yeah.
like, are you big enough to the point where you have to go to a third party packing service, And it's like, dude, you lose that like personable touch,
You do.
right? So like our girls are the ones who are noticing it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and like I'm providing jobs, like don't get me wrong, 3PLs are providing jobs too, but it's like, I'm in there with my product and I can see it and I can feel it. And I know when there's something wrong and if measurements are off, I can start pulling a bunch of stuff out of the inventory boxes and I'm really in there with it. If I go to a 3PL, you lose that personable touch with your brand.
You're not putting your fingers on the actual product and
Yeah.
seeing it or smelling it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
Like
exactly.
we've had some problems too. Like we got a bunch of board shorts and like we all shot photos, did a big photo shoot. We're all hyped. We're like, hell yeah, first drop. Like 3 days later, everyone's like, hey, did you put yours in the dryer yet? I'm like, no, why? He's like, I didn't wash mine, but mine are like fraying apart. We're like, wait, what?
Oh, no.
And like the stretch material, we ended up getting on the phone and the fabric was a bad batch of fabric that we got. And so we had pallets of board shorts that were just like, you'd wear them once or twice. And like, it probably happens to bikinis. Like if you slide around on like a Pebble Tech pool or anything, like they get like,
peeling.
that's like what it was doing.
Like
and we're just wearing them around. Like no one was like doing any of that.
Yeah.
Like, and we're just like, dude,
Yeah.
we can't sell these. Like,
Yes.
what are we going to do? Like
Yes.
we had all this hype going and then like
Removed
they
them from the
gave them
site.
to us. They're like, here, you can just keep them. We'll fix it. Yeah, we took them off the site. We didn't get them back for 3 more months. We got them. This was in like May. So we're like, all right, hell yeah, we got our summer drop ready. We didn't get them back until September. We're like, oh my God, like how the hell are we going to sell? Everyone already has their shorts for the summer. You know what I
Yes.
mean? So it's like, but you live and you learn. Like that stuff sucks. And I always remember people saying like, oh, you have to fail before you succeed. And I'm like, now I get it. Like you work these problems out when you're running your own business. And it's like you said, like you don't have a map that you're following. Like we're creating our own map as we go. Like
Exactly.
it's gnarly. And remembering like, okay, don't go to this factory. Okay, don't go like these are the good factories.
Yes,
like
exactly.
Then I'm sure that factory gave you those shorts for free because you have a good relationship.
yeah,
with them.
they hooked us up and they replaced it and fixed the new ones and we were stoked. Like the new ones were dope. But then that's when we're like, hey, we're gonna do a buy one get one free, but these free ones you're getting are like they're free for a reason. Like they're messed up, but we're just gonna give them to you, And like people were stoked, so we ended up getting rid of them.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years back, not to go too deep on this, but a company, I think it was, I don't want to say Oakley, but it was like Oakley, or maybe it was Ray-Ban. They had done something wrong and they did basically they asked their customers to be like R&D for a product that was bad, but they had millions of them. And they basically just said, pay for the shipping and help us with R&D and send us
So
back
rad.
your comments. And it was such a good concept because I had read this whole article on about how they grew their fan base.
That's
This was
amazing.
before subscription.
Created more fans.
And they created more fans because the fans said, hey, I actually don't like this. It fell apart. But they actually got on the computer, registered an account, sent in their email with the photo. Well, those fans now became so integrated with the company. When they did do the real drop, they bought them.
Oh
And
my
they
God.
tripled-
That's,
Well,
I'm doing that.
and now
so
No,
you
I'm not
triple-
kidding. I'm
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
call Taylor after this. We're fucking doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the company. There's companies now. Like if you go towards the end of this concept, because I know you were going to talk about some other things, is that they do it a lot of times in the food space. Like a restaurant will say, "Hey, we got this new dish." Like a lot of famous chefs will do this now because they have these a la carte tasting menus.
Yeah.
And so it was a cool article, but basically just shows like how you could build a community, which is
Yes.
something like you've done
Yeah.
so great with DBK.
Yes.
You've done with your audience.
same. Like that's
Same
the thing, like
concept.
building a community. Like I remember seeing videos all the time in like your photo shoots, and it's like it's cool to see the support that everyone gives to you. Cause you're not like most brands, like in her situation, they're going to stick their stuff on like the best looking girl they can find and shoot the photos. And that's it. You're getting every girl.
I don't know if I can truly take this credit, but I'm going to take some credit here. I was doing the normal, the multiple body styles. Like everyone was putting size 0 clean models, right?
Yep.
And I would get pissed, right? Because I'm like built.
It's not
going
to fit you the same.
And so I'd shop, and that's what pissed me off. I told my partner, I was like, we're putting real bodies, like putting our girlfriends in these photo shoots, because I don't want to go. I'm friends with all the models. I can hire them all. That's not a problem.
Yep.
But the reality is that's not what it's going to look like when the
that's not your
customer gets it. Yes. 95% of women out there don't look like banging hourglass perfect body. So it's like we started putting the girls in there that just your everyday woman, your wife, your mom, you're just your working girl.
Just had a baby. Like
yes, like, and so I'm going to say this. I feel like there was no one doing that at the time.
I
and
didn't
now
see that.
everyone does it.
So one thing I want to know is, were you in WWE?
Yes.
Were
wow,
you really?
You did some digging, eh?
Yeah.
You did some digging.
He's smarter than he looks.
Yeah. No, that's. I was on WWE. Yeah, I was. Okay,
Incredible.
so listen, I'm a fitness chick, right? Like I mixed into Supercross, and then on my off time after Supercross, I do fitness competitions. They are notorious for going and getting fitness professionals from the IFBB and making them into a WWE star, because you're like fit and like you know, Buff Bunny over here. So they hit me up and they were like casting me for this show. Okay, I'm not a reality TV person. I'm like, you can't and especially at this time,
You have no filter.
I didn't know how to play the cards either. Like I was getting rattled up. I was all, like I was getting pissed, but it was all for game. It was a chess game, So it was just super frustrating. I got on there and I crushed it. Like I was like crushing the chicks at all like the actual athletic challenges. But they were just doing it behind scenes. So we were engaged at the time. I was planning my wedding, and then we had this horrible thing happen at our bars. Our buddy who was doing security got temporarily paralyzed by getting attacked by a drunk dude at our bars. We had bars. That's another thing.
That was another question I'm getting into.
Anyway,
hustling, dude. I told you he's a hustler.
But so this all happens at the same time while I'm in Florida at the WWE training center, and they were just screwing around with me so bad. They made me like I'm like such a nice person and I'm personable. We chatted up like Mrs. Positive. They made me like this diva. Like that's how they spun me on the show. I was the villain chick. Oh, why does Dianna get to have her cell phone and laptop? Why does is that special? Oh, did Dianna actually get hurt during that challenge? Because she won the challenge, but now she's saying her hip flexor hurts. It's like, it was a totally poor experience. And like, I get it. You have to do it for TV ratings, but it's just like, I'm not the personality. And I was too far in my other careers to be like eating their shit to like try to make it. Like everyone else on there wasn't well known. That's like their dream was to become a WWE star, because if they just became a WWE star, then they would have a made career.
You already had shit going on.
I had so much shit going on. WWE stars are on the road 300 days a year for like $100,000. Blast that.
You're engaged. You're doing monster stuff.
Blast
you have
that.
your bars.
Dude,
you're doing house
they have
flips,
no rights to their merch, their name, and their character and everything they come up with. Like when you're new on the WWE roster, you don't get any of that. That's all back to the WWE. You're not like earning royalties or anything.
This girl's giving us the inside scoop.
Yeah,
right
so
now
when
on
I
WWE.
found that out-
Blast that. Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, because when I found that out, like that was my main motivation, right? Like I'll just add this to my resume, right?
Yeah.
Like I become a WWE diva out of this, right? And now here I am,
all
like
this money,
making
be
up more
chilling.
money, right? Then you get in there and you're like training with the pros, and you find out the ins and outs. Like, oh no, they're not like. Not until you're like committed for X amount of years, then they'll slice you a piece of royalty. You have to like, earn it and then bring value, which I get it from a business aspect.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're like slaving. 300 days of travel, and they're traveling internationally. They're not just going domestic. They're literally, Ryan called me I'll never forget. We were on the phone one night when I was in Florida, and he goes, babe, I did some more research. Like, you understand, like, you're going to be traveling 5 or 6 days a week. It's not like now you're Thursday to Sunday.
It's every night, right?
Now you're going to be like Tuesday, you fly in, you make appearances, you have your rehearsal night, then you have your day, and then you have post press, and then you go home, and you're home for 1 or 2 days, and then you're back on it again. Like,
He's like, this ain't gonna work.
Yeah. And then he was like, do you like those big dudes? And I was like,
No. Was it The Rock? Was The Rock making you upset?
You're like,
Triple H.
he started doing the eyebrow lift. He started like fucking raising his eyebrows and shit when he was around me. I was like, what are you doing?
I just want you to know I've been in the gym the whole time you've been gone.
Yeah. He's like, I bench like 570 now. I'm like, what? That's
When you come back,
weird.
I'm a different man.
I got some juice too, so I'll be way stronger when you get back here.
I've been shooting up for you, baby. So basically when our buddy got paralyzed and we were freaking out, like, is he going to sue us or how's this all going to work? I just bailed on the show.
You did.
And they asked me, they said, can you please stay 2 more days to the elimination round? And I said, sure. Of course I got eliminated. It was planned.
Yeah.
And I went along with it because they told me they were going to post our GoFundMe for our buddy who was fucking paralyzed in the hospital.
Who needed it.
Who needed the money. They never posted it on the show. I was like, if I stay 2 days, please post that on the show. Like, this is the guy, the former Navy SEAL. Like, he was on Team Bruiser, like one of the most heavily
dudes that actually helped our country.
Oh, yeah. He was on there with Jocko. Like, he was on deployments with Jocko and Chris Kyle, like gnarly dude, you know? And so he's a full-blown war like combat hero. And so I was like, please post him. And so they didn't. And I was just like,
BS. Yeah.
I'm out of here, dude.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah. So
Our military service gets like no credit from half America, and then half America uses them for politics when they should be like paid more and more idolized than any other person. They're the reason why we could sit here and do our thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like it is selfless sacrifice, and so there are, military people are amazing. They're giving up their lives to go and serve the military.
Yeah.
And Ryan and I always talk about it. Like, if our son doesn't have shit going by the time he's like 18, 19 years old, we're like, go. Just go do something.
Yeah.
Like, you need to get your brain, your wheels turning. Someone needs to tell you what to do because you got to go and go do it. And I wish more, like, especially from our area, like, go. Like,
what else
stop
do you have to
sitting
do?
here and like twiddling your thumbs or living in your mom's like home. Like, go and do something.
Quit relying on someone else to take care of you.
Yeah,
like,
you know
do
what?
It yourself.
Kim Kardashian got blessed is saying people just don't want to work. I'm with you, sis. Blast that. I'm with you. People just don't want dudes. I've seen this viral video of the dude coming out and the girl's like carrying all the bags, and then she's like carrying all the bags, and the dude's like, oh, and she puts the bags down, picks him up, then carries the bags again and keeps walking. And I'm like, yeah.
That's me.
Yeah, we need to stop this. We need to stop this. Oh, hell no. If that was me, oh, God.
Oh, God.
I don't date no pussies. There is no pussies.
I could tell.
Oh, yeah.
I
We
married
see
no
one right
pussy.
here. He's
Yeah.
holding a gun to our head.
Yeah. Red dots on all of us. Say the right thing, Dad.
Yeah.
No, just kidding.
You must feel really safe just moving around with a Navy SEAL at all times.
Oh, I do. I totally do. It's,
She can
it's
talk
awesome.
as much shit as she wants.
Yeah. That's what I'm imagining, right?
Yes.
Did
I
she
know.
get you into trouble, Ryan?
Well, she went on this last Phoenix. She started mouthing off to some guy, and I wasn't there. I got visited for doing that.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Wait, what happened?
Is that when you were on your video? I remember.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I remember.
What? What'd I do?
And I
I
remember-
can't remember.
I was getting arrested.
Right, come over here. Use the mic for
Oh,
this one. This might be a
boy.
good.
It's a great
Well,
story.
Listen, we're wrapping up right now, so we'll hear
I
one
don't
more
even know the story.
No, so my wife,
Right here.
she always feels protected, but she has to wait till I'm there. So this last one with the Phoenix Open, that guy was getting arrested.
Oh,
And
And
you were like,
disrespecting the cops and
He's like,
everyone.
"You piece of shit, motherfucker. You
Yeah,
you-"
yeah.
Yeah, and the
Okay.
guy could have whooped your ass. And I was like, don't ever do that unless I'm there, you know?
Yeah, so we were at the PGA. We were at the
Like, go ahead and do it, but just make sure I'm there.
wait
What
till
a
I'm
great
there.
man.
Yes.
Hey, see, that's a man, dude. What a
No,
gentleman.
that's what I'm talking
Say
about.
what you
Like,
wanna say.
where are the men at? Like, here. Okay, so here, you guys are. Oh,
Fucking Diana. Oh my God, you ruined it.
There goes the analytics.
Hey, you're good. We're building a new room.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
you know what, dude? I broke a chair the other day. Like, you're fine, dude. We're getting new chairs.
I'm so sorry.
Don't even worry
Don't
about
trip.
it. We're getting
I
new
kept
chairs.
looking at that cup too, being like, Diana.
I saw it coming.
Fucking move
I
it.
saw
I'm
it
like,
coming.
I'm wailing
'Cause
my
she's doing
fucking arms
this, and then
around.
she did this. And
That's
Oh
when
my
she's getting. That's
God.
when
crazy,
she did
Diana.
this to WWE,
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, all right, well, then this is coming.
Yeah,
And
you were like, we're gonna wrap this podcast up. She's
I
saying some
have
crazy
nothing
shit.
else. I got everything I need out of this. Unless you have some hidden agenda, I am.
No,
I'm
I just
done.
wanted Diana to come in and talk shit. I think she's like a funny person, and
We
I
might
think
have to
she's
have a
rad.
round two in the new podcast
For
studio.
sure, 100%.
Oh my gosh.
We'll have to have her and Ryan, because then that's when we'll get the real good stories.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
you guys
we'll do-
gotta have
we'll do-
Ryan on. My husband's
Yeah.
Navy SEAL turned into a Netflix TV star.
That's what. Oh yeah, that was one of the questions I wanted to do. Is like with this Netflix show coming out, like how long did you know about that for, and could you not say anything really?
Yeah, so they didn't want us to post really anything about it. It was like a year and a half of them filming and going all over the world, and I couldn't say much about it.
Yeah.
You know, like then when they like finalize the title and they finalize like the PR stuff, you know, then that was when they were like, go for it. Like we can start posting about it.
Do whatever you want.
Yes. So.
All right, listen, this is an incredible. We're going to bring you back to talk about your Netflix show.
Yes.
We have the new podcast studio being built, right? We're about to be going into our craziest sale of the year, this like in the next 2 days here. And then we kick off Q4. So we built this brand new podcast studio so we could just do like 2 episodes a day.
That's awesome.
So it's going to be incredible. Twitch is this. You're hitting home runs.
Did you say Twitch is a bitch?
No,
Twitch
I
is
said,
a bitch?
It sounded like.
no, I
Twitch
said
is a
Twitch
bitch.
is just bringing us the best guests. You're just hitting home runs. It's pretty incredible. This was probably one of my funnest ones I've ever done. Because I don't know if I can laugh at anything because I look at him first before I laugh. And then when I see him up, then I let it out, right? Because I'm like, maybe I'm not supposed to in that one. And I keep seeing you kind of look over it too. So I'm like, I'm going to go with him on this one. He keeps playing with his watch like he's ready to fight.
I just look over because I know he's going to be laughing. And this dude always has a smile on his face. Like,
Hey, you
always.
have good energy. For a
Straight
guy
up.
who could kill me with his eyes, you have good energy.
That's what everybody says. Ryan's like, everyone is so confused by him when they meet him. Like, oh shit, Navy's still like serious guy. Like, and then they talk to him like, you're fucking awesome, bro. Like, you're so happy. Like, you're such a nice guy. Like, what a good person.
If I make him laugh, he'll like me.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you guys still selling ammo and stuff?
We are selling ammo.
How many times has that page been taken down?
Oh God.
A lot.
Wait, say this. What's going on here?
Come over here.
Ryan, come over
Yeah,
here.
Ryan, we're going to bring you back for your own episode.
Yes, I know, right?
Right here.
Come over here.
Right here.
We're selling F-16 parts right now.
Right here.
Are
right
you
here in the
really?
mic. Come in the middle.
Nice.
Come in the middle.
Come in the mic.
This is a pretty crazy
Get
story.
in the
See,
mic.
when I say she's always hustling, they're always
Wait,
hustling.
bring the Navy SEAL chair,
Bring him a
goddammit. It's an American hero, dude. You want him to be on his knees?
Because he has bad knees. What the
God
fuck?
damn it.
No, this is a crazy story. We
Right here.
got into F-16 parts just now.
Ryan,
a buddy-
talking to the microphone, babe.
Oh, sorry. A buddy of mine.
Hold it like this.
I don't want you too close to me, but I'm going to make sure.
Ryan, you're not supposed to do what Twitch
What'd
tells
you
you to
say?
do.
What'd
He's
you
going to
say?
set you up for
Hey, what'd you
failure.
say?
He goes, hold it like this.
Why are you doing it now?
She has to show him how.
I'm a female. I'm allowed
We
to.
got into ammo during COVID, and we import about 35 million rounds a year. So if you ever need ammo, I've got shitloads.
He's
of
hooked me up with a
ammo
lot
for
of
guns
ammo.
or like Nerf?
ammo for guns.
No,
like-
Yes.
real ammo.
Real ammo.
Export. We're cleared by DDTC, so we export to small fund wars, everything.
Yeah,
fund small
gnarly.
wars, everything.
War dogs.
That's why I said, like, when they're hustling,
dogs,
they're
bro.
always hustling,
Yeah.
doing stuff.
And
dude.
what is the name of this company?
We have a couple. So we got Canoe Club USA, which is the retail. I got Trident Wholesale, which is the wholesale company. And then Gordon Imports, which is our import company, how we fund small wars and stuff. So 3 companies.
Well, babe, we shouldn't make that our tagline. We fund small wars.
Wait, can I just ask you a
fund
question?
small
You keep
wars?
using the term fun small wars.
Sorry.
What does that
We-
mean?
Please stop.
We fund humongous
Have
fucking
you ever
wars.
have you seen the movie War Dogs?
What, Jonah Hill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Okay, think War Dogs.
It's my main job. Yeah, this is a good story. So my buddy, this is a pretty good story. So my buddy,
We'll have part 2 in a few
Yeah,
weeks.
hey, listen, we can't give him too much juice right here.
Yeah, we can't
a
give
buddy
away
of
too
mine,
much.
it's a crazy story. A buddy of mine in the SEAL teams with us, he got into real estate. Met this guy that was getting drunk in Vegas that got esophagus cancer and ended up, guy wanted to take all the money he could. He bought all of his real estate and then used all the money until he ran out and then killed himself on pills, right? My buddy then goes and inspects all this real estate he bought. And one of the warehouses was a 60,000 square foot warehouse filled with 30 million F-16 parts.
No.
Worth over $200 million.
So you're like,
So now he's the broker.
I'm the broker.
He's
for
the
it.
broker on the
And
deal.
we're going to find out today what it's going to
Say your prayers, y'all. Say your prayers.
Are we allowed to put this on the podcast? I feel like we're getting like crazy
Yeah.
intel here.
Yes.
No, we just Ukraine.
We're cleared by the DDTC.
Ukraine just bought all those F-16s, so they need the parts. There's enough parts to uphold 60 F-16s, and we're not making them anymore.
Bro, are we talking about massive airplanes that drop bombs and
Engines,
fly
parts.
across the world? And
yes.
We don't use F-16s in America anymore.
No, we push them all out. So
we're getting hit from 30 different sides
And
right now.
I love that you know so much about so many things because you're asking good questions.
I just
I
wanna
told you he's
be
smarter than
very,
he looks,
I
too.
just want to be very clear right now. When you say Ukraine just bought a bunch of F-16s, they weren't bought from America, but these are American F-16s that they bought from a third-party country?
No, they bought from America. We gave it to them.
Hey, just for everybody at home wondering about the war and what's going on here, I'm not saying anything.
No, I didn't. I hated how I had to go through so many middlemen to get import ammunition. So I just started started my own company, started flying to Europe and just going with the manufacturer myself.
It's perfect. I remember when you were doing that. I was like, dude, that's fucking smart. I'm like,
Go
you've
to
been
the
around the
source.
world enough to where you know where you can get stuff that you need.
Yes,
Yeah, I
I
exactly.
can get you anything.
Anything.
Look at he's speechless.
No, I just got to be careful what I said.
Honestly, right now I have a good deal going on in CS grenades. Anybody want CS grenades?
Yeah, I want some grenades.
Okay.
Who wants grenades? Everybody gets a grenade.
Here, catch this one.
Here, want one?
No, but it's the tear gas.
Yeah.
I get these ones. I get them for like $50. I get you as many as you want.
Does any of this need to be clipped?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to ask you a question. So most of the world doesn't understand what's going on.
Maybe not super in depth.
Yeah, let's not go too
That'll be
detailed
part two.
because,
Yeah, like let's keep a
part 2 we'll do like
Conceal.
you maybe have like a team that can protect you at night. I don't. So I don't want to be the one that they come for. I've seen all the conspiracy videos.
Allow me to get you the things you need to protect yourself.
I'm with you on that.
That's
Yes.
what Ryan's here
Don't
for.
tread on me. Listen, I want to know something. Everybody keeps wondering where Ukraine is getting all this money to buy airplanes and ammo and what?
Us.
Yeah.
I think we spend we give
Yeah,
them,
we
on
wanna-
average $25 million a day.
yes,
Something like that? Yeah.
We are. We're
Yeah,
funding
we
them.
are.
I'm just asking the questions. I don't know. I'm just asking what the people want to know.
I
The
only
Ja-
want like half of that a day.
All right, so the Jaxxon podcast Discord has a question since we're doing this live. They say, how does Ukraine train their military men to be able to battle Russia? This seems like a very controversial topic. Do you know what they train and use in battle?
Honestly, it's kind of a collective of a lot of different people. There's a lot of mercenaries there, a lot of Americans there that are working. I have a couple of buddies that are over there just pretty much working for free and just doing I don't really believe in the war. I just believe I'm making some money off of it, you know?
Spoken like a true war dog. So at the end of
That's
the day,
what I was saying when I was saying like maybe
listen, he's American. He fought for America. Let him make money the way he wants. I believe you get
Like,
money however you want to get money. Right here. Thanks. So appreciate you. I'm over here backing you up to make sure you don't get canceled. You give this guy the I'm over here. All right, cool. So the guy in the knit sweater gets played. We're gonna bring you back for your own show. You have a lot of information. It's obviously very highly classified since you're a Navy SEAL, and whatever is unclassified,
Highly classified.
you'll drop with us. Let the audience know about your Netflix show and what you do, and where this information, why you're kind of like a very credible source.
Yeah, I was a SEAL for 12 years and got into ammo, and then also did a Netflix TV show that kind of came out of nowhere where it's called Toughest Force on Earth. I just go to 8 different forces, train with them, and then do a real world mission.
It's a tongue twister.
But yeah, I did that for it's about a year and a half. And then what I wish I was doing is like structuring deals with these guys every time I was going over there.
well,
So if I
hey,
did-
for season 2.
I'm 100%
Season
doing that.
2.
Yes. No, but yeah, just kind of I'm like her. I've got things and everything. I married a go-getter, and she makes me even more of a go-getter. So it's
That's
good.
right.
Yeah.
That's how it should be.
Do you guys do any deals where you like send her in, she plays good cop, bad cop, you come in, and then you kind of get the price to go up a little bit?
No, actually, last SHOT Show, I need more contacts to sell ammo to. So we found the CEO of guns.com, a couple others. I was like, go make friends with them.
Yeah.
Babe, you look better than I do. Go in there, and then I'll cruise over in 10 minutes.
Oh no, I was talking to this dude for like 30 minutes, and he could tell he was kind of like hanging out with me, and like I was like, all right, and
Ryan,
whatever.
where the hell you at?
Ryan was like right there, but he was talking to somebody else, and then he hands me my card because he's like, why don't we sell conceal leggings, like conceal carry leggings? Like, can you make them for me?
Oh, yep.
And I'm like, for sure.
I can figure it out.
I was kind of confused because I thought for sure he was like a salesman. He hands me his card. He's CEO of like this $300 million a year company. I'm like, okay, Ryan, we're going to need to call this guy tomorrow. All right. This is who's going to be buying our next lot.
Ryan's
like,
we
I
got to
got me
figure
a
out
winner.
bulletproof leggings too.
Yes.
Ryan got himself a winner.
Yes.
Yes.
Like, we're gonna get a lot of deals. That listen, I'm sitting here live and direct with the War Dog himself. I have Twitch, probably one of the greatest guests that turned in one of the greatest shows. I thought we were gonna talk about calendars, and now we're talking about selling ammo to the world.
Yeah.
So
See, there's a lot of stuff that comes with
incredible.
our territory.
And all joking aside, thank you for serving the country. Thank you for serving. I think our country needs a lot more respect for military men.
sir.
So big thank you on that. With that being said, Twitch, you have anything else you want to add?
Thank you, Diana.
Yeah.
And go buy some ammo.
Go buy some chains at Jaxxon.com. We'll hold up on the ammo. And if you're under 18, we have chains for youth now, and they're available. Appreciate everybody watching.
And we have Nerf bullets.